Hello, 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 everybody. This is Robin, and we are live, live. Maybe. Are we live? Are we live? I always like it. It says we're live, and then I look over here and it doesn't show that we're live. But it probably will be in just a second. Give y'all a moment to get through the commercials. I know that's what takes everybody a few minutes to get in here is the commercials. And I don't have my light on. So let's get that. That's going to help. There we go. That's going to help. So it looks like we got some people popping in. Hello, hello. And Mary popped in a little while ago. Hi, Amy. Hi, Linda. Mary popped in a little while ago and told me that I had the wrong time listed on bingo. And I did notice that, and I have fixed that. I think I had listed the time for tonight's show instead of for the bingo, but that is all fixed. So bingo is tomorrow. So don't forget tomorrow night for bingo. Bingo. Hey, Susan. Hi. Oh, how is everybody doing? It is hot here. We had 105 today. Too hot. 105 is just ridiculous. Oh, good, Amy. You got your yarn. I am so happy. Oh, that's funny. On my computer, the yarn is blue. On my phone, the yarn is sort of an orangey red. That's funny. Good. I'm so glad you got it, though. And I love the color you picked up. I'm very happy. So, how is everybody doing? Is it 1,000,000 degrees where you guys are? That's weird, Susan. I wonder why it pulled your message out. Hey, Miss Sue. Miss Sue, I finally have that thing straightened out. So I'm going to be sending you an email tomorrow. Absolutely. What a mess that was. 99 for Amy. We're going to be just as hot tomorrow. I believe that's what it said. And then I think later in the week, it's going to slowly start to cool down. Oh, thunderstorms for you, Sue. Cheryl is not feeling well. She's got a migraine today, so she's not going to be joining us tonight. Back up for you tomorrow, Amy. It is just hot, and there's just no two ways around it. Oh, goodness. It is just hot. And I think it's pretty much everywhere. Double check one thing. Yes, I knew it. Let me switch this. All messages. I want all messages, not just some of the messages. I don't know why it does that. I wish it would set for all messages, and then you could change it if you wanted, just some of them. I do not know why it does that. So how was everybody's weekend? Other than dealing with the terrible, well, I guess not terrible. Alabama is, let me think a minute. Let me think about it. Alabama, they're red. What is it? It's red tide, right? Red tide? I don't know what the hand signal is. I'm terrible about teams, but I do remember something about red tide, Alabama red tide. Florida Gators. That's about the extent of my knowledge of the football teams. Roll Tide. That's close. I was close. Roll Tide. What's the school that goes with? Roll Tide. Red Tide is when you can't eat the oysters out of the ocean. I'm so bad with that stuff, you guys. I'm so bad. digging out my little project here. Oh, it's already over here. Don't even have to dig it out. University of Alabama. All right, roll tide. Oh, where did Georgia Bulldogs? I was going to say, where'd Miss Linda go? You've got the Georgia Bulldogs. We've got the Gonzaga Bulldogs. And every time I go to look something up and I'm looking for Bulldogs, all I can find is Georgia Bulldogs. And they are not the same. But they're starting to get Gonzaga Bulldogs on stuff. But most of the time it's Georgia Bulldogs. Most of the time. Not that I care. I don't care at all about any of the sports stuff. Do you guys like the sports? Do you follow the sports, Linda? You big Bulldogs fan? Oh, so then what do you watch, Sue? You still watch the Aussie football? Yeah. Australian football. That's soccer, right? No, Amy doesn't care for it at all. My mom, she loved football. She liked, her team was the Rams, the Los Angeles Rams. When they moved, and I don't remember, they moved to St. Louis. She still watched it, but she didn't like it as much. Oh, Steve, there you go. Boilermakers. Now, where are they from? So my mother watched the Los Angeles Rams. So that's her football team. She watched college basketball. Of course, it was Gonzaga. And she liked tennis. That was about it. That was the sports that we watched. But we watched football every week. We watched the Rams. So we loved the Rams. We hated the 49ers. Oh, Purdue. Okay. And then, of course, it was years before the Seahawks came around. So, I mean, we root for the Seahawks, but we loved the Rams at our house. And now I don't have to watch football anymore. Oh, Aussie rules football, rugby, and soccer. Oh, so the Aussie rules football is different from soccer. I did not know that. And I know rugby is different. Rugby is a tough game. Okay, so you got your second degree from Purdue. Where was your first degree from? Oh, Boilermakers. My degree, I just got my AA, but Temple, okay. And we were Sasquatch. So I'm right with Bigfoot. All right, did I get all the way around this thing? I did. Okay, so Temple. So you went to the big time schools. You went to the fancy schools. So anybody working on their squares this week? Anybody got their squares done? I know Steve's whole blanket is done. So his is not a thing. Don't forget, we've got bingo tomorrow night at 4:00. And I just went through and updated all the numbers. So I've got all the numbers in there. There was a few new ones. And I did make the video about the holiday bags, but I didn't like it. So I'm going to redo it. And I'll post that tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a busy day. Did not like the video. So I'm going to remake it. Oh, I did something fun this weekend. Was it this weekend? Friday night? Yeah, I think it was Friday night. Morgan went and picked up a tie-dye kit. We like the tie-dye. She went and picked up a tie-dye kit, and she tie-dyed an outfit. Well, she tie-dyed, it was a short and a shirt, and then a second pair of shorts. And then I used the rest of the dye and did some yarn. It turned out pretty good, I think. It's hard to tell. It's hanging and drying right now. If I have time tomorrow, I'll go pick it up. I've got it hanging at the store because we had some racks that made it real easy to hang and dry. Yeah. And so I got to bring it home and wind it up and see what it looks like. And I did film everything, so I'll do an actual video and post the video, and then I'll show you what it looks like all wound up. And then I'm going to have to do a real quick crochet something real quick, even if it's just a quick swatch to see what it looks like. The longer one didn't turn out quite the way I wanted it to. But I decided what happened was we had like speckled it, and I wanted it to be speckled, and I had seen some yarn where they had speckled one half of it and left a big chunk of it undone, uncolored. And then when it worked up, it was like speckled spots all over it. Well, that's not what happened. What happened was when it set overnight, the undyed part of the yarn absorbed the dye. So I ended up with hardly any of it undyed. And then the speckles kind of absorbed. So it ended up not being speckled. It ended up being more solid than what I was looking for. But for my first time, it was pretty interesting. And also, it ended up way more green than I wanted it to be. Well, then we realized because there was a lot of yellow and there was a lot of blue. Yellow and blue make green. So, but it was still fun, and it was still a learning experience. And I have no idea what the yarn is because it was just some random yarn that I got somewhere, probably in a mystery box, because I never would have bought it. And I know one of them is a fingering weight, and the other one is pretty thick. I think it's a 4 roving weight. So it's going to be interesting to wind those up and work it up real quick and see how it works up. But I've never done that before. Have any of you guys ever dyed up any yarn? Boy, her tie-dye turned out beautiful. It really turned out pretty. The only thing I've got left for her video is to get a picture of her wearing her little outfit. And I thought she was going to wear it yesterday or Saturday, but I don't think she ended up wearing it. Yeah. And last year, I think it was, I won a dyeing kit. It's right under there. Of course, I never used it. I was half afraid to use it. And I know a lot of people do, they use Kool-Aid, but I've also been told that the Kool-Aid doesn't set because it doesn't have the acid in it. But I figured since this stuff is made to do clothes, it probably had all the stuff in it to set it. So I figured, give it a try. It was fun. It was really easy. And I think if I did it again, I would probably not mix so many colors, just like pick maybe one color or possibly two, because I used all 5 colors. But it was fun, and I totally would do it again. Boy, one of those yarns stunk so bad. It was definitely a wool. And I don't know if they're a superwash. I don't know anything. I have no idea. No idea. I wish Sherry were in here. She does a lot. She does a lot of yarn dyeing nowadays. This is not working out right. Okay. Yeah, it's 105 here right now. Oh, it's going to cool off though. Nope. It's going to be worse. Tomorrow it's going to be 108. And then Wednesday 102.
That's in Lewiston. That's in Wenatchee. Okay.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at the wrong place. Never mind. Oh, that's Pasco. Okay. Yes. And so one of our neighbors, we found out, is actually very skilled in yarn dyeing. Yes, Susan, I'm home. And does it not look like I'm home, Susan? Maybe that's weird. Right here in my living room. Hey, Arrow. But she uses all natural stuff to dye with. And oops, I got a hair. There's a surprise. Oh, Susan, that was last week's video. Nope, I'm right here. She was watching a video from before. I was dog sitting last week. Or did that pop up as? Yeah, nope. That was from a few days ago. That was babysitting Cash. That's my friend's dog. He's a good boy. He's a sweet puppy. But I forgot what I was talking about now. Oh, the dyeing. So she used to dye a ton, and she's in a little apartment, and she just doesn't anymore. But she says she wants to teach me, and that's very intriguing, because she says she can come to the shop and do it. So it sounds interesting. She's got all the supplies. So I don't know. I might be doing that. We shall see.
106 out right now.
Wow, 106 outside right now.
On our zip code.
So let me show you what I came up with. Yeah. And she said she does 2 different ways. And she said one way is very exacting and very tricky, and you got to pay a lot of attention, and there's just a lot. She said it's a lot, very, very involved. And I said, that did not sound like fun. And then the other way sounded, and she says it's like 50-gallon drums in the backyard. And I'm like, no, I'm not dealing with that. And the other way, she said, you can do with 5-gallon buckets. And I'm like, okay. That sounds like something I can manage.
Yeah.
So 5-gallon buckets in the bathroom kind of thing. And then we talked about doing it at the shop because they've got one of those great big metal sinks there. I'm like, well, that's something I can manage there. So she also has, because she dyes her own yarn and then she spins her own yarn and she weaves it. So she's got one of those, what was that thing called? It's not a weaving machine. Is it a weaving machine? With the shuttles and when you make stuff, you make your own cloth out of it. Well, Miss Morgan's way interested in that. I got to give her a call again. But because I am very interested. Loom, thank you. She's got a weaving loom. She's got a couple looms that she wants to sell, and Miss Morgan's very interested in that. Although I don't know where the heck we'd put it in this house. We are plumb out of room. Plumb out of room. But it just sounds like so much fun. I am not the least bit interested in weaving. Never have been. None of that ever interested me. But she very much is. Okay, so let's talk about the block of the week. The block of the week this week is the zipper rib. Yeah, Karen does everything. Steve, she's got like 4 or 5 looms. Apparently, one of them is really, really nice. And it's some fancy thing. She said it's about as big as a piano, I guess. But it's, and I don't know enough.
Not necessarily a piano, but a grand piano.
Yeah, great big thing. But apparently it's super fancy. But something special about it is even once you've got it loaded, you can fold something up and like put it in the back of your vehicle and take it with you, even when you've got it loaded with the stuff on it. Because she used to take it with her to classes and retreats and things. She used to live on the other side of the state. She's got a couple of tabletop looms. And at first we were interested in that great, great big one. But now we're kind of thinking maybe the tabletop one might be, even though what I understand is the tabletop ones don't make anything very big. Oh. Yeah, we don't have room. We don't have an extra room here. And even our living room is, because our whole house is 1,200 square feet. And the way it's, I mean, I'd literally have to get rid of the dining room table to set something up like that, which I wouldn't be opposed to doing if, I don't know. Honestly, I'd probably be more likely to set it up at the shop. We've got room there. That's something we might talk about doing. Wow. She said floor, heddle, or loom. We don't even have room in the yard to put up another shed. And then to have, we'd have to have electricity and we'd have to have, be able to heat it and everything. Although, there's a spot next to the patio where we could put a shed in. That's not a bad idea. And then because it's right next to the house, it'd be fairly easy to run electricity out there. How are they, Steve, how are they about, moisture? I'm not saying, it wouldn't get rained on or anything, but like humidity, space heater and light. Because, we get a lot of snow and a lot of rain here. So, yeah, and then we'd only need to heat it when she's out there using it. That's not a bad idea. I'll have to think about that.
let all that dirt down.
Humidify. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Level that space out there and bring in another ziggy shed.
That would be the thing to do.
It's a good use of that space over there.
All it does now is grow weeds.
Mm-hmm. Or even the back corner.
We've got a lilac bush back there that I don't want to get rid of.
Yeah, a dehumidifier. Uh-huh. We'll have to take that under advisement, Steve. I don't hate that idea.
I've thought about that, but I don't want to put up more room for you to make a mess in.
That could be a combination weaving room, sewing room.
Yeah, that's what the RV turned into.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've been sewing. That's all I do anymore is sew. Oh, grab the bag for me. This,
Where is it?
it's on the next to my sewing machine. I was just like, oh, sorry. I'm just joking. I finished the stadium bag. Let me tell you. What do you guys think? So I had the cougar fabric. I already had it here. So it's got the corners, the nice corners. And check this out. It's got the double zipper. I don't think I'd mess with the double zipper. I think that's overkill. I think one zipper is fine. It opens all the way up. It's got 6 pockets on the inside. 2 big ones, one on either side. And then 4 small ones. Boy, that's really small there. This one's big. This one's big. What a pain in the behind this was. This thing took me 3. What day was it? What day was it when we were talking to Miss Dana, that we were live with Miss Dana? Was that Tuesday or Wednesday? I want to say Wednesday. Because I came home from running errands that day. I've been sewing on this bag ever since then. That's all I did all day long was work on this bag. So I know it was all day Friday and I know it was all day Thursday. Yeah. So it took me a solid 16, maybe 18 hours to make this thing. And it looks good, like just showing you guys, but it is so full of mistakes. There's no, I mean, I couldn't even use this as a sample in the shop because anybody that would pick it up and look at it would go, really? Yeah, the vinyl. It was the vinyl that was just horrible to work with. And so you can see how stiff this thing is, which you would want it to be. Trying to fold this thing to sew these little bitty teeny tiny spaces and work around it in my sewing machine. I'm doing a lot of it. When I do it again, and I will do it again because I liked, and I think it's very pretty. I think it's very pretty. But I keep losing the connection. Here we go. Here's the thing. This would have to be $40 to $50 just for the materials alone. Because I mean, surprisingly, this takes a whole yard of fabric, which you would not expect. A whole yard of fabric, and then the vinyl, and then there's a specialty. I can't think of the word. Stuff inside of here. I can't think of the word right now. But and the zipper, and that's a 2-foot zipper. So Yeah, heat would make it more pliable. But the problem is I'm looking online and I'm seeing a ton of stadium bags, which are basically just a very simple little tote bag. There's nothing cute about it. It doesn't have pockets. They don't stand up nice. It's just a basic square with a handle that are $20. So are people going to be willing to pay $40 to $50 for something really cute and nice like this or not? That's my dilemma. Now, I know some people would, but I don't know if the majority of people would. But it sure turned out nice. The style of it is nice. The size of it is wonderful. Being able to have the specialty fabric on there. And I saw some cute fabric that was softballs and baseballs and footballs and things like that would work really nice. But oh my gosh. You know, you can't spend 20 hours on one project like that. And of course, it wouldn't take that long the next time just because I understand the pattern now. And even just having made it once, I already know things I would do a little differently. But it was cute. I mean, it's cute. It's a cute bag with the little ties on there, things like that. But oh my gosh. Yeah, this stuff. Hi, Elizabeth. Oh, well, you have to go to your husband's life, of course. So I was just showing everybody the yes, absolutely. Much fancier. And like if you're going to a concert, you know, a lot of people, you go to a concert and you're in there for, or even a football game, you're in there for 3 or 4 hours. And you, especially us women, you got to take a lot of stuff. I mean, I can put a shawl in here. I can put a sweater in here. You go to a concert and you start out and it's daytime. And by the time you leave, it's nighttime and you want a jacket or a sweater or something. This is way big enough to put all that kind of stuff in here. Or you're waiting an hour for the thing to start. You can put your book in here. You can put your candle in here. You can put your water bottle in here. You can carry all the stuff with you. Now, you know what else I saw? And I was going to ask you guys about this. I want opinions. I saw one where they took, are you in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Would you bring me one of my, oh, wait a minute. I think I've got one here. Hold on. Yeah, hang on. I've got one here. They took this style and basically made it out of the vinyl. And I thought, well, that would be a lot easier. And, you know, you could take and maybe just put a little bit of cute fabric here and maybe a little bit of cute fabric on the bottom. But the one I saw, it was 100% vinyl, which there's nothing, I mean, there's nothing to give it any style. But what do you guys think about that? Doing this style, you know, with the thing at the top and making that whole thing out of vinyl. What do you guys think about that? Is that something that you think people would like? And obviously, then that would be a lot less expensive because it's not going to take nearly the time, especially now that I know how to make them. I do think there's definitely a market for those, 100%. 100%. No opinion? Nobody's got an opinion on the other one? Because I saw that and I went, I can see the value, especially for kiddos. You know, you've got your kid carrying one of these in. They've got their own junk in there. And because, I mean, nobody's spending 40 or 50 bucks to have their kid carry one of those in. But because they, you know, here, they even have to have those clear bags at the kids is at the high school football games. Yeah. And that's why I thought maybe that would be right. Oh no, it wouldn't be an everyday thing, Linda. They're stadium bags. So if you go to a concert, if you go to an arena, if you go to a ballpark, if you go to a concert, that's what you have to have. You can't take a purse or a backpack or anything like that in. It has to be completely see-through. Yep. Oh, the straps could have the color. That's a good idea. So instead of this being the rip, you know, the rip stuff, I can't remember what they call this, making the straps out of the team fabric. Yeah, mine is too, Steve. That's a good idea. I know, I haven't either. Yeah, and I think it's getting worse, Elizabeth, because we didn't until this last year. And the last time I even went to the theater, they had a metal detector outside, and we all had to go through the metal detector, and couldn't take our purses in. And that's the first time I've ever run into that. And I've always, because I used to work security at our opera house, and we always just, you know, look through their purse and, you know, next, but you can't take any of that stuff in now. And it can't be any bigger than 12 by 12 by 6. So that's why I made sure that that was the size of this. Isn't that something? Yeah. The only place that is not a requirement here is if you go to a concert at one of the casinos. They suggest it, but it wasn't a requirement, not yet. Oh, I know. I know. Okay, so that's what I've been working on all week was that thing. But I did get my block done for this week. And I do have my required mistake in there. So Steve will be happy. So this week's block was the zipper rib. So here's mine. Mine is red. And there's my mistake right smack in the middle of it. And there's the back. I actually like the back better. Did I get the... Oh, yeah. I was going to say I didn't put my outside edge on it, but it's almost the same color as the regular fabric. We are getting this thing done. I know there was a concert coming up. I think it's next week. And I got super excited. I'm like, I want to go. I want to go. I want to go. It's Bachman Turner Overdrive. I won't pay $60 for tickets. I'm too cheap. Too cheap. So there's this week's block. So that one's done. And next week's block is called what? Oh, the basket weave, the ribbed basket weave. Ribbed basket weave. And mine is gray. Ribbed basket weave. You guys, we are getting down to the end on this thing. Steve, have you got yours all sewn together? I know, Amy. Well, it's because it's at a and actually I'm really glad I didn't buy the ticket because boy, I was on the verge. I had it in my cart, but now with the heat, and it's an outside concert, but it's also at a casino. So that's one of the reasons the prices are cheaper. If it had been at one of the arenas, they'd be way higher. But it's an outside concert. And, with these temperatures, 100 degrees, 95 degrees, I'd be dying. And I like it warmer, but I don't want to be outside for 4 hours in that heat. Not even I would not. Yeah. Most of the arenas, they've got inside venues, but when it's a big concert like that, it's their outdoor concert series. I printed out a new list because we're getting towards the end, and my original list didn't go all the way to the end, so I had to reprint it. Yeah, if it was an indoor concert at our regular venue, it'd be at least $100. And I don't even know if that included all the fees and everything. Okay, so we've got the single basket weave, and then we've got the waffle rib, the zipper rib. Nope, I'm on the wrong one because we just did the zipper. So we've got the ribbed basket weave. Where is my list? And then the ridge stitch. Oh, here we go. I know. And then you've got all the bugs. Once it gets dark, then all the bugs come out. Ick. Okay. Ribbed basket weave next week. And then we've got a bye week. And then we've got the ridge stitch, a garter zigzag, a diagonal purl, garter stockinette, garter rib, dashes, and a double something I can't say. And that's it. So what does that give us? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more blocks. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So outdoor venue, 67 degrees, thunderstorms, tornadoes. Well, we don't get the tornadoes, but we get thunderstorms this time of year. Yeah. And well, I was going to say it's not even typically our hot time of year, but we're coming up on it. You can usually count on the first week of August being our hottest time of the year. And that is coming just around the corner. Steve, do you have your blanket all sewn together and everything? I'm probably going to try that connect as you go again. I did like that for the spring square swap. And I will follow the correct instructions this time instead of getting off on the wrong one. That was not good. Miss Robin put in an order and used her Bigfoot bucks, but we had some problems getting it to work. So I'm gonna work with Morgan tonight. We figured it out. I mean, we did a workaround, but I'm gonna have Miss Morgan do an order so I can see what it looks like on her end, because I couldn't see what the customer end looked like, so I could fix it. But We made it work. And she bought a pair of earrings and some yarn. And then she bought some more yarn that I had just popped up on the, again, don't forget, you guys, you need to be looking at the Insta page, the Insta and the, I put the same thing up on Insta and Facebook. And I just throw pictures up there, just boom, 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 nothing fancy when I bring new stuff in, because it's just so much faster than loading things onto the web page. And my IT lady is out of town. She's down in Arizona. But I need to have a sit down with her and have her teach me how to load all these new things. But a lot of it's, so much of it is one-time stuff. You know, when it's gone, it's gone. And so it's almost easier to go, okay, I'm putting together some, no blankets until it gets cooler. I'm putting together some grab bags too. Grab bags, mystery bags. Oh, okay. So I have a question for y'all. Putting together some mystery bags. When I have bought mystery bags in the past, and I bought a few, but I kind of quit. And one of the reasons I quit buying them is I don't like getting mystery bags that have one ball of this and one ball of this and one ball of this. How do you guys feel about it? Would you prefer a mystery bag that had a couple, 3 balls of the same yarn? So let's say, and I'm just pulling numbers out of the sky. Let's say you got a mystery bag that had 6 skeins of yarn in it. Would you want 6 separate skeins of yarn, or would you want 2 balls of 3, or maybe 3 balls of 2? You know what I'm saying here? So would you want more of a variety or more multiples of the same? Because, you know, my opinion is I don't like getting a whole bunch of one ball of this and that, but that's me. So what's your guys' opinion on those? Because I'm going to start building these, and I want to know what people are interested in. More multiples of the same. Great. Everybody thinks the same way as me. Okay. Got it. I agree 100%. Because that's honestly, that's why I quit buying mystery bags. I bought one time, and I swear it had, I bought one. Yes. I bought one time, and it had 12 skeins of yarn in it. But I mean, I paid $45 for this mystery bag. It had 12 skeins of yarn in it, all the same color, and it was all pink, which I don't like pink anyway. And every skein was different, and they were all different weights. So I couldn't even mix and match. It was a complete waste. Complete waste. And that's the last time I bought a mystery bag, other than like from you know, when you buy the Santa sacks from who is it that does the Santa sacks? Lion Brand. Those are usually pretty good. Yeah. Okay. Matching weight and material, something. Yeah. Exactly. So like for instance, if you got 3 of basic stitch, you're going to be happy with that. Yeah. I agree. Okay. That gives me something to go on, because that's what I would have done. I thought, well, maybe I'm the only one that doesn't like this. Okay. Good. Good. All righty. 3 packages of 3. Yeah, that's almost always what they are. And even if you get stuck with one package of weird stuff, the other 2 are almost always something that you can use. And I have gotten stuck with some weird stuff there, but I've also gotten some super nice yarns in there. Yep. Pink is your older sister's favorite. Yeah, that's the last time I ever bought a mystery bag from somebody, just a rando person. I was very disappointed with that. And then, of course, I'll, mark them that if it's got wool or, wool or no wool. I don't think I've got a ton of wool.
Is alpaca considered wool? Is alpaca considered
alpaca? No, alpaca is not wool. And a lot of folks who have wool allergies are okay with alpaca, but a lot of people do have alpaca sensitivity. So, and we learned that from Amber. Amber cannot even touch alpaca. So anytime she would get a mystery bag and it would have alpaca in it, she sends it to me. So I get her alpaca, and then I send her other stuff. Not always, but usually. But you know what? She is learning that if it's got, because there's, what is it? There's Surrey alpaca, and then there's the other one, which is typically baby alpaca. She typically, or at least she's gotten better, where she can handle the baby alpaca. Yep, too hot to be putting blankets together. I've been working on my, yeah, you like the natural fibers? I've been working on my my squares, my elephant squares. I've got 5 of them done now. Because that's something I can do like this during a live where I'm just sitting and talking. I don't have to pay too much attention. And I did take the yarn to the shop with me yesterday, and I balled it up because it is a mess to work with just off the skein. So I think I did 3 of them. I think I wrapped up 3 of them, which will be either 3 or 4, and that'll last me for quite a few weeks. Quite a few weeks. Oh, it makes you sneeze while you're using it. It is pretty fine, those fibers. It is. It's sticky. Even just working with it, huh? Oh, my ear. Time to change colors. Oh, I finished my my not bubblegum blanket. My loosely based on. I didn't finish the whole thing. Where is, oh, no, I thought I was just picking it up off the floor. I was pulling it off the whole ball. I finished the body, and now I've started working on the border. And so I did, it called for, I think, 1 round of half doubles. So I did a round of half doubles, and I did 2 rounds of doubles, and then another round of half double, because you needed half doubles to start the colored stuff. So I had to do another round of half doubles. I wasn't planning on that, but I did it. And now I've started my first, yeah, I've started my first round of the colored stitches. It's going slow because you got to pick that back stitch up with every single stitch. So it's not a quick, that's not a quick go. But again, that's something you can do. You know, it doesn't take a lot of thought, but sitting there with that big old heavy blanket in your lap. So that won't be something I want to do real soon or real often. But I got to get her done. I kind of thought I might have it done this week. And if I hadn't spent the last 3 days working on that stadium bag, I might have. But boy, I wanted to get that thing done. Glad I did. Learned a lot. Oh, guess what else I did? Oh, Angora. Yeah. Terrible. Oh my goodness, Linda. You've got to be getting close to being done on that thing. How many you're on the last section though, aren't you? I think I was supposed to do I just did a row of double and I was supposed to be half double. Oh well. Is there another section after that? I had a lady come into the shop yesterday and buy some yarn to make a shawl with. She's crocheting though. She bought some pretty yarn. So one more section after that. Okay. Yeah, I'm cheating. I'm waiting for her to rewrite it into a rectangle, and then I'm going to do it.
It's hot outside. You sure you want to do that? You sure? Okay.
Oh, here comes the other one. This
Come
one
on,
wants to go
Focus.
too.
Come on. Kitty, kitty. It's hot. Nope, she doesn't want to go out.
Changed your mind, huh? Yeah, it is a beautiful shawl. There's no doubt. Absolutely gorgeous. I can't remember, Linda. Does it have a little bit of a does it have like a picot border or something? Or when you're done, are you done? Do you do something around the triangle edge when you're finished with it? Oh, I just can't wait to see yours. Angora. That sounds just awful. Have you guys, any of you guys worked with linen before? I found a package of linen, a cotton linen mix when I was going through my stuff, and I don't remember buying it, so it must have been in a mystery bag. But I might have bought it when I was on the road. But it's much it's very dense. It's much denser than I thought it would be. Yeah, Angora is very soft. I had, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Um, hmm. Well, this isn't Premiere, so I'm not sure where I got it from, but I'm sure I bought it on clearance from somewhere. 3-stitch border knit. Okay. Okay. Because my next knit project that I need to start, and I got to do it pert quick too. Irritating on your neck and chest. Is I got to do another. I got to start a hat that has just cast off when you're finished. Okay. I'm going to start a hat that is stranded knitting. I have to learn how to do it, and so that has to be my next knit project. So as soon as I finish a project, that's going to be the next thing that I have to start. Well, that's not true either, because I also have to start that shawl, and they both have about the same deadline, but the shawl is more important. Hmm. Hmm. So I did something fun today, and I had an ulterior motive when I did it, but I ended up having a really good time. I found a group, and it was a knitting group, I guess, for lack of a better word. Um, it was knit or crochet, a stitching group, and they met at the library. Well, they only meet once a month. Well, they meet twice a month, but every other week. And one week they meet on Saturday, and then the next time they meet on Sunday. And so for the last few months, I've been trying to connect with them. And finally today I was able to. Of course, I can't do it on Saturday. And so today I was able to meet with them. And I've been wanting to for a while. But my ulterior motive, of course, well, hello, Miss Janice. Okay. Yeah. That's a good idea. Well, and I like to do that anyway, so that I don't get tired of stuff. But my ulterior motive was to tell them about the yarn store. But I got in there, and I took my knit square in there, and so I was working on that, and I actually had a very good time. And it was a smaller group. A couple more pumpkin hats. Okay. I actually saw a pattern for a pumpkin hat, and I thought, oh, that's really cute. I might have to make that. And two of the ladies I actually knew, or I had met when I was taking my knitting lessons at the yarn store that caught fire, that still isn't open. And so there was, let me think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There were 6 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there were 6 of us there, and 2 of them I had met before. And so it was, and one of them, the lady next to me, had actually heard of my store. So that was cool. And so it was fun. It was a lot of fun. And then in the process, at the end of the thing, I'm like, okay, so when's the next meeting? And turns out that they were going to have to cancel the next one because the lady that runs it is moving. And so she wasn't available. And I says, well, we can do it at my store if you guys want. So we're going to have the next meeting at the store. So that worked out really well. And I also heard them say that there's another knitting group that meets at, we've got a local, it's kind of it's a grocery store, but it's also kind of a fancy, like a health food store. And so they get together and meet there on Wednesday nights. So I'm going to check into that too. I'm just going to kind of pop into all the little knitting groups, stitching groups. Because, they're the ones that are interested in doing this kind of stuff. So, but it was really fun to sit there and work on the projects and visit with everybody. And it was 2 hours. It was at a library. Boy, I'll tell you what, I froze. I was so cold. I was so cold in there.
You come outside, 105.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that was the thing. I told them if they wanted to do it on a time when the library wasn't available, if they want to do it on a weeknight or whatever, we can do it whenever. I can open the store anytime. And I do also know, well, there is the one store, because right now there's only one other store in town. Oh, yeah, you're right. I should. Well, and I needed to get my block done. So that's why I took my block. Plus, I can't talk while I knit. So it had to be something, you guys know that, had to be something fairly simple because I can't sit and visit while I knit for the most part. Now, my crocheting, I can. And I can I'll be able to work on my elfin squares while I'm doing that. And actually, I told them that I needed, and that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that hat that I need to work on because I need to learn how to do that stranded knitting. And they're like, oh, yeah, we can help you with that. So that's something that I'll be able to do. And because I don't know how to do it. I mean, I know how, but I don't know how to do it well. Yeah. I can definitely work on my elfin squares. Or finish that silly dress. Yeah. I know.
Oh,
I really thought I'm getting really close to being done. Really close. But yeah, just introducing more people to it. That's the whole point. And I know there's a group that meets at the library out there. They used to meet on Wednesdays at 1:00 last year. I don't know if they still meet there. And I always forget. In fact, I should do that right now while we're talking. I need to put that in my calendar. I have all these things popping up. Good Lord. Okay, and see, I can't do it this week. Because, stop. I might be able to do it this week. Library, LIBRA, Library, KNIT Knit Group. O-U-P. I'll put a question mark there. And I think, yeah, you're right, Steve. It'd be way too hot to wear right now anyway. The first of what? Your kids start school on the first. Oh, it's almost August. Yeah, that's right. See, our kids don't start school until September. They just got out like the 18th of June. Dave Matthews, nice. Okay, Janice. So here's a question. Here's a question. So where was your concert? Was it like at a city arena or something like that? Where was the concert held? Yeah, if it wasn't 100 degrees, it would be perfect for right now. And she'll be able to wear it clear into the fall with a little t-shirt. They're saying bless you.
What?
They're saying bless you. Yeah, he's not feeling good. He hasn't felt good the last couple of days. Okay, so it was at an arena. Did you guys have to take a clear bag like this, Janice? This is what I made this week. A stadium bag. Did they have to have stadium bags to take anything in? Oh, yes. At the gorge.
The shooting last year.
That was a couple years ago.
No, last year they had one.
Was it? Elizabeth lives on the other side. Wow. Yep, so the clear bags. So this is the other thing that I'm making to sell. But I have to adjust it a little bit. This took way too long. Oh, you could only have 6 by 9. See, around here we can have 12 by 12 by 6. I should check the gorge and see what their rules are, because they have a lot of concerts down there. Where's Morgan? I'm gonna text her and make her look that up.
Who?
Morgan.
Morgan's in bed. Leave her alone.
She's got a migraine, so she's not feeling good. Oh, now you're in Prescott. She was in Everett. Prescott Valley. We were there a few years ago. We have a friend who has property in Congress, just down the road. Wickenburg, that's that area. That's where Wickenburg is, where Deb lives. Deb Morgan is in Wickenburg. She's coming to the Yarny Social. So excited. That's just down the road. Good Lord. This year. I can't believe this year has gotten away from us so quick.
I don't want to be in Prescott
No.
today, but
Well,
this winter it might
okay. Oh, and there's my mistake. Nice. Hate this blanket. I hate this blanket. Glad when we're done with this ugly thing. Okay, now it's done. Ham radio festivals? That's funny. We love Wickenburg because it's all the rodeos. You can go down there and look at all the rodeo stuff.
Ropey.
Roping. Okay, let's see here. Now I can grab this out and
On every block.
yeah,
there's
everywhere.
A rodeo or arena.
Wickenburg's about an hour from you, right?
Maybe not even that. About 30 minutes. There's this guy.
Oops, there it is. There it is. There it is. Tired, fed up. I'm not tired of it. I'm not enjoying it. I'm not enjoying the project itself. And there's so many other projects I'd rather be working on. Wow, how did I get that? Yep. And it's really loose, but I added 15 or 20 stitches to the sides to make it wider. And there's the chocolate and there's the purple. And I went back and picked up, this was the only other color that we had in the shop that wasn't included in the blanket. So I threw that in too. And so yeah, I wanted to make this thing as big as possible. And I've already added 3 rows to the border. And I'm going to try, we'll see if it works out. I'm going to try and do, so the color where you go around each row with the color one time, I'm going to try and do it 2 times. I'm going to see if I've got enough yarn. I think I do, but I'm going to try and do it 2 times. It's not really huge. It's a normal throw size. It's just bigger than the baby blanket that the pattern makes, which I was not really interested. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm not tired of this. This is fine. It's our squares. This project I'm tired of. This is fine. This doesn't bother me at all. This only took me not even a month to make in between everything else. I'm happy with this. I do wish I'd gone down a hook size because it's a little see-through, but when it's on your lap, it's comfortable and warm. And I love working with this yarn. Oh my gosh, this is a delight. It is wonderful to work with. No, I'm very happy with this blanket. I love blankets. I love to make blankets. It's my thing. And I'll make the hats and I'll make the other little doohickeys, but blankets are my go-to. I don't care what time of year it is. I'm happy making a blanket. I don't like squares. I've never liked blocks. Yeah. And that particular blanket with those squares, that was a miserable, boring, and I have screwed up every single one of those blocks, every single one. No matter how hard I work on it, no matter how careful I am, there's a mistake in every one of them. So it's It's going to be another cat blanket. Which is fine because I've got blankets that I don't want them on, that I would freak out if they got on, if I see laying on the floor, I'm like, ah! And then there's blankets that I literally go, here you go. And, I've got stuff that, like yarn. I've got baskets that have yarn stacked up in it that I need to put something over the top of so they don't get cat hair on it. Here you go. This blanket goes on top of that so the cat can lay on it. Yes. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, Steve. I've learned a lot from that project, but I do not enjoy the project, and it is not one that I care in the least. This blanket could go in the back of the car, and if it ends up on the floor, it does not matter. That's what it's for. Oh, Kitty must have got us a mouse. And you got to have blankets like that. You got to have a blanket that you can cuddle up with next to the fireplace and that you can take camping and stuff like that. Because not all of my blankets are like that, And I'll tell you what, it's just like the Franken blanket. That thing was miserable to work on, but it is the warmest, most comfortable blanket. I love it as a snuggle blanket. But this thing I'm never going to want to see again when I'm done with it. And I would be embarrassed to give it to the Goodwill. Yeah. So. I can't put it in timeout because we're almost done. And I tried to stop once and people had a cow. And now we're almost done with the thing. So I will just finish it and we'll be done. We've only got 8 more blocks to go. And there's been a couple blocks I've actually really liked. I cannot talk. And see, that was the thing today. I was sitting in that group trying to visit and trying to talk while I was working on it. And I cannot do that while I'm knitting. So we are almost done with it. I know my limitations with knitting. And so that hat that I want to do, yeah, I think so. I think it's only 8 more. Because I just counted a little bit ago. Did I do a double crochet? Yes. See, if I'm not paying attention, I go right to a double crochet. So how do you make a weighted blanket, Elizabeth? Oh, that would be heavy. I'm doing something like that. Oh, my eye's twitching. See, the thought of 8 more weeks of the squares makes my eye twitch. I forgot what I was going to say. 4 strands of worsted. Oh, I've got a project that I'm going to use my leftovers. Yeah, what size hook do you use? That's an interesting question. I've got a project that I'm going to work. Was it 6? I think it's 6 strands. Maybe it's 4. And to use up all of my leftover yarn instead of a scrap GAN, I'm going to do something else. An L or an N, depends on how tight you want it. Okay. Bag policy. Okay, so the gorge is 12 by 12 by 6 or a small 6 by 9. So it's the same. This would work at the gorge too. My hands were cramping and like I was you know how like you'll get a leg cramp and how your foot will do that thing? That's what my fingers were doing, fighting with that bag yesterday. One, yep. 1, 2, 3. L or an N. Yeah, that's the only thing. I wish I'd gone down one hook size with this. And I'm using a J. Did she get a mouse?
No. Going outside.
Ooh, somebody's barbecuing out there. I can smell it. This is, yeah, it's a specific gauge, and that was the problem. It was the heaviest gauge they had at the store. And I don't even know what gauge it is now. 10
gauge.
16, 12. I don't know. It's so heavy. The shovel grip. Let's see if I can find my pattern. I saved it. Oh. Yeah, these are 16 gauge. May as well have been using steel. Okay, guys, so tell me. Place towels in the microwave oven 30 seconds to a minute. Sandwich the vinyl between it. Okay. I will try that on my next one because I tell you what, I was in tears with this thing. What's your next project going to be? The needle wasn't the problem. It was just the maneuverability of the vinyl. You know, because I'd be sewing along and you couldn't bend it to move it around inside the sewing machine because, you know, you've only got this much space and you couldn't move this thing to sew the seams and stuff. And then you'd be sewing along and it would slip. Where's that terrible spot? Like here. Say you'd be sewing along and where's that thing? Like this. So you'd be doing your edge, your seam, and then it would slip. So then your seam looks terrible. That wasn't the problem, Janice. That wasn't the problem. It was the bending of it. And you'd be going along and it would just go bloop. I'm just embarrassed at how bad the seams are. And like I said, maybe if there's somebody who doesn't sew and looked at it, and they would probably, I don't know, if people don't sew, do they look that close at the seams? But I do. I look at seams when and see, here's another one. It went zip. These seams are just terrible on this thing. Just terrible. And like, I couldn't even carry it with me to a show and show it to someone because the seams are so terrible on it. The only thing I could do is say, well, this was a prototype and, you know, they're a lot better now. But probably somebody isn't going to be looking that close if you're at a show. Hey, Miss Pinky Jean. How are you doing down there in Texas? Are you melting?
No, it's cool down there.
I think we're hotter than you are.
They're 86 in Dallas.
The only thing I can do is I can take pictures because one side seems to be way better than the other. I can take pictures and put this like on the website and nobody's going to be able to see close up how bad the seams are. That I can do. Just because one side seems to be way better than the other side. That I can get away with. Yeah, Pinky, we're 105 here today.
106 was the high.
106 was the high. Was it going to be 108 tomorrow, or was that somewhere else?
No, it's supposed to be today.
We're melting. Just having a good old time.
Fans on and air conditioning.
Yep.
Neighbor across the street has no air conditioning.
Oh, that's right. She doesn't, does she?
No, she doesn't.
Yeah, our neighbor lady doesn't have AC at her house. I forgot about that. I'll have to look. Yeah, and I've been doing tons of sewing with vinyl. It's just this one that's been the problem because the vinyl was so thick. That's the only reason I'm having problems with it. Crafty Gemini. I'll have to go there. CRAFTYGEMINI. Oh, she's got a lot of subscribers. Yeah, I'll have to go look at some of her stuff. They yeah, because I've been sewing all those other things and having no problems at all. And I did the zipper, and oh, she's got oh, that's somebody else. See, you're looking at something, all of a sudden you're in somebody else's video. That's what happened to me with my bag, with my sewing it together thing. I like it when I love playlists. I like to look at their playlists. Oh, that's a good idea. Quilting. Oh, she does quilting too. Yeah, I want to do some pillowcases for the grandkids. They're going to get fun pillowcases for Christmas this year. Oh, she's got some knitting tutorials. Oh, this will be fun. Thank you. And crochet. Oh, I like that idea. Ooh, she's got a long arm machine. Oh. She's got a lot of playlists. Baby bibs. I might be making some of those. We got a new baby coming. I'll tell you what, I went to our we've got one super nice quilting store. And I went in there the other day and I was looking at their new machine. My sewing machine it was like top of the line when I bought it. And I got a killer deal because the lady whose machine it was used. And she is one of those that buys a brand new machine every year. And she buys the top of the line machine every year. And I just happened to be there needing a machine the day she traded this one in and got her brand new machine. And it probably didn't have 20 hours on it. And so I paid $2,000 for this machine 30 years ago.
30. Okay.
Yeah, because Chris was in high school. Because I was in the middle of making her dress, her prom dress, when my machine died. And I bought a new machine and it died. And I'm like, I'm done with these cheap machines. I'm buying a good machine. And so I've probably had this machine for 30 years. And I paid $2,000 for it 30 years ago. So this was a very expensive sewing machine. And it's kind of to the point where it still does a fantastic job. Mine's a Bernina, and I love it. And one of the reasons I love the Bernina is there's nothing plastic on it. It is solid steel. But like I went to buy some bobbins for it the other day, and a package of 5 bobbins was $40. So I was in the store and I was looking around and I thought, these fancy machines with all the fancy embroidery stuff, and it's got the fancy embroidery, and I love it. I love this machine. And it's got the fancy embroidery, but it was what was fancy 30 years ago. which isn't what's fancy now. It doesn't even have the ability to put a hoop on it. That's how unfancy it is. And they're like the cheap ones are $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. But I paid $2,000 for this one, however many years ago. I just can't do it. I just can't do it because I know I'm never going to use that stuff. I don't do that kind of stuff. But then you look at what you can do with them and you just go, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Jean, does yours have the embroidery stuff on it? There's, oh man. So I walk in there and a friend of mine is in the store and she's the one that does all the fancy stuff. And she's just like bouncing off the walls. She's like, I just got a new machine. I just got a new machine. And I'm like, didn't you just get a new machine? So the machine that she just bought is sitting there $17,000 for a sewing machine. A sewing machine, it's a sewing machine embroidery machine combo. $17,000, you guys.
I can remember the sewing machine my sister started on, Rover.
Yeah, but hers are not. Hers are now. Mr.'s
Great.
sister had a business, and her machines they're not fancy. They're heavy duty because she made drapes and upholstery. So she would do upholstery for couches and outdoor furnitures and cars. Yeah. So it was heavy duty. It doesn't do fancy doodads. But that was her job. That was her business for years. And so, yeah, those are expensive machines. $17,000.
Singer. Kind of like the one that was here.
Yeah, now, and there's the other thing, a serger. I wouldn't mind having a serger. I had one for 10 minutes, and it was a piece of crap. I bought the cheapest possible one, and that thing never worked. It never worked right. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. If you're doing that kind of stuff, Janice, you need a decent machine. You've got to have a machine that's going to work right and do all the stuff. But just for home sewing. And I'm like, can you put it in the will that I get that? Because she's about 15 years older than me. It's a beautiful machine. I go, so what are you doing with the one you got now? Because I'm looking for a machine. They gave her $6,000 trade in on her current machine. And that's right, Pinky. You don't have room for everything. But a good serger is nice to have. And back when I used to sew all the kids' clothes, I probably, if I was still doing that, I'd have a serger. But I don't sew clothes. I sew stuff. And when I bought my machine, I mostly did quilts. So I really didn't need a serger. I definitely could have justified one. I don't even know what sergers cost nowadays. I haven't looked at one since I bought that piece of junk one that I had. I bet a decent one is a couple grand. I don't know. No idea. And I don't even want to look. I have no interest. No interest. So I left. I left the store. I was getting pretty excited there for a few minutes. But she works just fine. I take her in every couple of years and get it, get a tune-up, get it overhauled. And that cost me $130. And what I need to do, because I bought my machine at that store, and they offer lifetime lessons. And I literally had to call them yesterday and say, I can't get my zipper foot to work. I can't get the needle to go to the side. And between us, it took us about 10 minutes to figure it out. But we figured it out. And what I need to do is go in there with my little box of feet and say, okay, how do these things work? And because all the fancy new ones, everything is programmed on the screen. And mine has the screen, but there's no instructions. And even the instruction book didn't tell you how to do that part. And I searched and searched and searched online. And it's so old, there's no information online. So, but they've still got a lady there that teaches about it. So that's what I need to do, is go in there and sit down and take a few lessons. And I kind of remember doing that when I first got it, but it was like, yeah, I'm not interested in that. I was taking quilting classes, and that's what I was doing. So I learned all the stuff that I needed to know for the quilting classes. And I've got some nice feet. Like I was telling Mister that I kind of wanted to buy a walking foot for it. And I was looking online, and they were what, $250?
Quite a bit.
He went out in the garage I've got that sewing tower out there. I had one in there, brand new in the box, never used. So, I mean, this thing came with everything. So I just got to learn how to use it. And then he went online and found a video on how to use the walking foot, how to hook it up and everything. That would also make it easier for making these things. Oops, there goes my thing. I'll tell you what, it is too hot to have this in my lap right now. It is too hot. Even just the little bit that I've got in my lap is too hot. I think I'm going to set it aside and dig out I didn't want to dig out my elfin square, because I've got to literally dig it out, and this was right here. But I'm going to. Oh, I could. No, that's going to be too hot. What's in that bag? Oh, that's just yarn. That's just extra yarn that I need to clean the cat hair off of. Can't imagine how that got on there. Hey, did you guys get anything cool on Amazon Prime Days? I got a little thingy bobber for my car, a divider for the console, Good night, Linda. Yes, tomorrow night's bingo. 4 o'clock. We'll see you tomorrow. We've only got about 10 more minutes here. Good night, Linda. Yeah, I can just work on this square. Oh, that's much better. Don't have to hardly count at all there. See you at 4 or a couple of minutes beforehand. I need to look. I have got a lot going on this week. Okay. Class. I got 3 classes scheduled for next week. Yeah, this needs to be much better. Two. Yeah, you've got these done too, don't you? Red Heart Super Saver for $10. That's the problem. Well, and it's individual people, so they're going to charge whatever they want. I have never found yarn to be a good price on Amazon. Never. And I've been looking at yarn on like Etsy and things like that too. And same thing. But you got to remember, those places are all charging the seller's fees. So they've bought it from somewhere, and they've probably paid shipping, and they have to charge fees. I mean, they're paying fees to sell it on a site. But I have never, ever found a good deal on yarn. I have always found it to be more expensive. I got a good deal on that console divider thing. It was like I had 2 things that I wanted to get, and I had them both in my cart and waiting for the sale. And the console thing was $10 less. And I read the reviews, and one of the reviews said it was crappy, or a few of the reviews said it wasn't very good. And there was another brand, basically the same exact thing. Yeah, and I had looked them up beforehand to see what the prices were. And the other one got much better reviews, but it cost about $10 more. So I ordered both of them, and the cheaper one was fine. It was perfectly fine. So I sent back the more expensive one, and it ended up being, I think I got it for $15 or $16. So it was a lot cheaper than what it was before Prime. And then the other item was, it was a cutting mat, and it wasn't on sale at all. Exact same price as beforehand. So I didn't even get it. Didn't even order it. I'll wait till it goes on sale at Joann's, and then I won't have to pay shipping. I know. Elizabeth, I really like that. When they say it's a frequently returned item, you know it's a piece of junk. I think that's a really smart thing that they have started doing. I do read reviews, but I take them with a grain of salt because a lot of times they will say, yep, this looks great. I just opened it. Haven't used it yet. Looks great. Well, what kind of a review is that? That does me no good. Yeah, Joann's having great sales. And a lot of it is because, they're combining their stores and they're closing down a lot of their stores. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I actually got something the other day. You know how they always give you their coupons as 40% off something that's not on sale and everything in the store is on sale? I actually got something the other day that wasn't on sale. Yeah, paid reviews. Mm-hmm. But boy, I'll tell you what, I have not sewn in so many years. I am stunned at how much patterns cost. Patterns used to be $3 or $4, and now they're $20 for a pattern. So much for saving money sewing clothes. Ooh, Quinn, yeah. All right, number 5. Woohoo! And that is the rest of that yarn. I've got this much. That I made 5 squares and this much yarn left out of that skein of yarn. I'd say that was just about right. Yeah. $17. Mm-hmm. And that's on sale. That's their sale price. And you can never use a coupon because they're always on sale. Ridiculous. And then if they're every now and again I'll go in there and it's like all the whatever Simplicity or all the Buttericks are for $3.99 or $4.99, and then there's nothing in the drawer. There's absolutely not. I'll pick out 5 patterns and not one of them will be there, and you can't get a rain check. And I've tried to get them online, and they don't do the patterns online, from what I can tell. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but I can't tell that they have the patterns online. Yeah, that was just about perfect. In fact, why did I even put that in my bag? That's garbage. That is garbage. I'll have to dig that out now. Oh, wow. That's great, Elizabeth. I almost got the Amish style. Almost. I probably should have. Yeah, probably not. Well, I know that they're always on. They say all their patterns are 30% off, so they consider that always on sale. So right there, they don't allow you to use it. I was just shocked. But I got a pattern for some pajama bottoms because I had found some really cute flannel. Yes. Yeah, that makes sense. Um, Last year when we went to the yarn store down in Boise, the they had a motorized yarn winder, and it wasn't one of the ones that you buy online where it says it's automatic and they're just crap. Her husband had hooked that thing up, so I'm going to have Mister take a look at it when we go down there and see if he can hook that up on mine. Because I'd like to offer that service in the store, but I don't want to be sitting there doing this all day long either. That's a lot of work. I sure hope so, Pinky. Hey, tomorrow night is bingo, Pinky. That 6 inches of yarn you want, Steve? I save the bigger batches because I used to use them for stuffing all the time, but not 6 inches. Anything bigger than that, I would definitely save. Oh, Pinky, just pop in tomorrow night and watch. It's too late for you to sign up now. Um, the deadline is Saturday night, but just pop in tomorrow night. It starts at 4 o'clock. 4, so that would be 6 o'clock your time. So just pop in and watch how it goes tomorrow night, and then you can do it. You can do it the next time. We have a lot of fun. So what do you do with it, Steve? Six inches to 2 to 3 feet. Okay. I'm glad you made it. Yeah, because I've got I'm happy to throw that in a little jar for you. I'll just set it over here, and because those I would not save. Oh, yes, I would love to see that. Good night, Janice. We'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, it's getting late for you guys. Hey, Golden Age. Bye-bye. Yeah, you're on the East Coast too, so it's late for you. One, two, three. One. Can I count to 4? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I did. Whatever. Anyone, Steve. I look at all of them. 100 times a day. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to see those hooks. Oh, wow. Glow in the dark. No, I didn't. It's at a video? Did you do a video? Send me a link if you did a video.
Enjoying the massage.
Cool.
This may be the ruination of my life. I will sit in here
Golden
forever.
Age Crochet. Okay, I got it. I'll watch it when we're done here. Whoa, you threw it. You didn't just drop it.
I just need
Nice. I can't,
Rob to bring me
it didn't chip or anything, did it? That's amazing. Those are just gorgeous. Yeah, just gorgeous. Wow. So what kind of what brand of hook do you use? Okay.
The massage chair.
So then with the clovers, because they've got, the big,
But they don't have to go outside.
they got the big handle, but like with the Hiya, they've got the basic handle, so that would work. Yeah. Um, the shape is different, but they're longer, and actually the head's about the same. Yeah, they're the same. They're basically the same. But they don't have the fat body, and they're way less expensive. Way less expensive. Oh, very nice, Steve. Can I show the picture? So are you using a single strand, Steve? That's almost like a scrap can bag. I'll see what I can find. I haven't actually found a local. I haven't looked for a local. I'll see what I can do. Look at that cool bag. Yeah, I'll totally save those. Yeah, I'll set a bag over here and I'll put all that in there. So do you want a certain weight, or what are your requirements, Steve? Yeah, I really like that. Very, very nice. Okay. Perfect. Then I'll set a jar or a bag or something over here, and I'll just chuck all my bits in there, and when I get a little bag full, I'll send them off to you.
You ever do fruit bag scraps?
I think she's asking how many strands do you hold at a time, because I was wondering the same thing. Yeah, I'll just set a bag over here. And actually, even at the shop, because when we're doing the sit and stitches, people, they're clipping stuff, so I'll save them there too. Well, folks, I'm getting hungry. So I'm going to let you go, and I will see everybody tomorrow night for bingo. Very excited about that. I've got all the numbers loaded into the description box, so everything that I've got is in there. I have checked the area where YouTube will pull things and hide them. Oh, I do have to check the computer. I always forget that they'll hide them there as well. And but I'll check that. Yeah, you don't want your bag to be too heavy. And so I'll double check that to make sure nobody's numbers got hidden in there. And we'll see you guys tomorrow night. Bingo, bingo, bingo. Some new molds. Okay, super. Yeah, and I'll do some research, see if I can find these highs somewhere. I hadn't looked for them, and I actually really like them. So toodaloo, everybody. Bye, bye, bye. Thanks for popping in. Good night.